Hello everyone, I'm TG and welcome back to the House of Sleaze. Today we're taking a look at a unique little Daniel build that focuses on healing his creatures in the middle of combat. It's Daniel's answer to Dr. Annette and it's actually really interesting. So let's take a look. So to start things off, I'm going with Wind Up, which is my personal favorite way to play Mr. X. It just seems to be the most reliable in terms of damage. Next, I'm going with Rend, because a lot of the time when we heal our creatures, it's directly after a grab. And lastly, Old Faithful Endurance. Really, there's no other way to run this build. Endurance is going to make it so you can actually get the grabs off and do some damage. So for his exclusive cards, I'm of course going with Overclock, one of my personal favorites. And instead of Caltrops, I'm actually going to go with the Armored Zombie, because the Armored Zombie is going to last a lot longer than a regular zombie. And you're going to be able to heal this bad boy non-stop. That leads me to his equipment, and it's all about survivability. So I'm using Power Implant Regeneration 2, Resilient Skin 3-in-1, and Fresh Blood 3. Power Implant is going to make it so every single time that you jump into a creature, you're healing them for 1800 HP. And really, that should be all you need, because typically you're jumping into creatures when they're at about half health. Resilient Skin is of course just to make our zombies a little more sturdy so you actually get a chance to jump into them, and Fresh Blood 3 is the old standard, makes your creatures grab a lot more, which is very important because we're using Rend. So on to his deck. Pretty standard Daniel deck, but we're focusing a little bit more on defense. So creature roll call, we got the Tough Zombie, Jester, Partially Armored Zombie, Double Zombie, and the Dealer. In addition to that, we're also going to be using Discount because I like my boys to come out nice and cheap. And we're going to be using the Fortifying Anchor, which is going to cause all our creatures to take just a little bit less damage. On top of all that, I threw in Enhancing Vapor Infection just for a little bit of economy drain. Lastly, we're using two mods, Efficiency Mod Creatures and Viral Mod Regeneration. So that's the build, and I'm going to show you a couple matches I played earlier using it that were quite exhilarating. So sit back, grab your popcorn, and enjoy. Uh-oh, double melee. But little Tyrone, he doesn't know what he's in for.
We have death, destruction, disease.
So starting off, I got my viral mod, that's good, but I don't have my creature mod yet.
You are welcome.
Just gonna put her down for a little bit of early fuckery. Hopefully they take the bait. Oh yes, yes little Tyrone, come to me. Hear my siren song. Oh, I probably should have waited to jump in. I was just too damn excited.
I did not. And you are trapped.
So one thing to remember when using this build is it's not always about doing damage, it's also a big economy sink. Because every time you jump into a creature, the survivors just wasted all the ammo and durability that they poured into that creature.
Hey, let's feel it. When did they die?
And there we go, back to full health. Really, the only other Mastermind I see this working with is Annette, if you're going for Dr. Annette. But even then, I think Daniel's probably the way to go, just because Endurance is almost required to make this work. See, little Tyrone's down over there. Wasn't even me.
General Munchie.
So let's get these boys chonky. And I don't think I'm going to be able to interrupt it. No.
What would happen if I Thanks.
There is more fun ahead.
Tyrone, where are you going? And again, back to full health with a flaming head. We're gonna do a little bit of damage here. Oh, Tyrone, you missed the kick. Now, with the patch, they did change it so you can't immediately jump back into creatures. And the reason for that is simply because they put this into the game. Because if you could just go back and forth and jump into creatures, not only could you heal them perpetually, but Daniel could actually make them invincible if he's using that variant. So to me, it works out. It's pretty balanced.
It feels no pain.
And just look at all the chonk right here.
Damn, locked.
That zombie absorbed a lot of damage. I find the partially armored zombie, if his armor loads in correctly, is probably one of the best zombies in this build because, first of all, they're wasting resources trying to hit him and they don't always get any damage off, but also he's really hard to hit, which makes him easier to heal.
There are glaciers moving faster than you.
Now they are just not doing great on time. That little Tyrone has really hurt them. One thing you gotta keep in mind as well is you gotta break the habit of wanting to jump into your fresh creatures. You gotta jump into your hurt creatures. I know I do it all the time. And I also jumped the gun there a little bit. Didn't really take any damage when I jumped into him.
No one will be coming through that door. It's locked. Okay, you found
Oh
it.
dear.
I will now throw you apart.
I hope they get to the exit. Winning in Area 1, it's just not fun.
With it. This is death or
But you know, if they don't do it, you know, I'm trying. I'm trying here. There we go.
You think this is a problem?
Now, unless they got a Hail Mary in their back pocket, I think this one goes to Daniel.
This slower food.
I hope I get a chance to use Mr. X though, because I'm just feeling like Tyrone is asking for a wind-up.
Give Alex whatever she needs. But you are under no obligation.
Let's do something I don't usually do, and I'm actually going to put a creature at the start. A strategy from the old world, but with Daniel you can still make it work, because all you're trying to do is basically fuck with them. Come on. Oh, that shotgun not back. Not liking it. No, Tyrone. Now, unfortunately, there's no camera over here, so I couldn't really jump out and jump back in. But here we go.
A fittingly brutal.
A fittingly brutal weapon for a brutal game. Alright, see, that's what we want, is just to get that wind up.
The weight's right in the fire.
I always like getting a twofer. Let's make it a threefer.
Take the key then. Get to the next area.
It's a shame they don't have a backup because that would just render Mr. X completely moot.
You stepped into my game and it's swat.
Now, is Tyrone going to second wind? Or, oh, actually, he doesn't have second wind, does he?
I've seen faster shop managers.
Well, that is that. Jilly. Jilly, Jilly, Jill. I come for you. Ah. Well, she got it regardless. Well, that was a lot of fun, but it was over just a little bit too quickly. So I think, yeah, let's try again. Looking like a pretty balanced team here. And I'm not gonna lie, that Jill frightens me. They also have a Valerie, which I'm never excited to play against,
We have dead.
because she really is just the best survivor. And no mods off the start. That's annoying. Oh, there we go.
You are welcome.
Now let's see if we can fuck around just a little bit here. Haha. Yeah, use that ammo.
Let's have a closer look.
I'll keep dozens. Maybe I'm
Valerie with a bat, eh? Strange.
My life is strange.
Well, that was strange because
This one I
is
call
that
the dripster.
creature dead or what's going on over there?
He feels no pain.
Okay.
The perfect machine for this endeavor.
Now you see, this is why you don't go melee Valerie. She's just not built for it. It's the one thing that she can't do.
Better than I could have done.
Ammo's out.
This really is not a very efficient way of
I would
ending
do
your
anything to
life.
thank you for that.
But
And, oh no. But we got Martin. Give me those credits. Let me in those pockets, boy. I think that was enough distraction there. Now let's see if we can replicate that. We're gonna let January run amok. Oh, Valerie. Just charging in guns blazing. Fucking baseball fury. Come here, come here.
go find it next to you. There is more fun ahead. Fun for me, at least.
So I really want to focus this Jill as much as possible. Because I'm just going to take an educated guess and say she knows what she's doing more than the others. Or I certainly hope so, because she's ranked 230.
Oh man, that was close.
What are you doing? What are you doing there, Martin? Why can't I hit you?
Bullets.
Jokes about.
Yeah, use your flame mine. Means nothing to Daniel. Oh, you fool. Got you in the corner.
If you live, I shall enter you in tortoise races. But I do not hold much hope of your success there either.
Oh, so close, Jill. So close. And one thing you might not know is whenever you jump into a creature, you might not think that, oh, whenever it comes back to full health, its limbs get regenerated as well. But yes, it actually does. Which makes sense, but it wasn't something that I thought of off the bat.
This is death or glory, not a race where you get the prize for participation.
Well then, that was Combat Medic Daniel. A lot of fun, and I don't see a lot of players using it, so it really catches them off guard. Now, as always, I'm TG. If you like what you saw, you know what to do. If not,
I expected disappointment.
keep it sleazy.
You